Hi everyone and welcome to another video by Kenny. So today's video is one of my favorites. I feel like I'm right in my element with this video. So it's kind of a modern Scandinavian style eco home, and I did actually find a picture and a plan to build from. So I've just put it in the corner over here, and this is definitely my favorite style of homes to build. I feel like just because it's so close to what I like in interiors, and it's what most of my custom content is focused on, and this is definitely one of the easiest styles that I find to build and one of the most fun, as well as probably my favourite style to actually live in terms of Sims and in real life. So I hope you do enjoy this build. It's technically a 3-bedroom family home, but I did make this into a 2-bedroom home with an office, mainly because I kind of had a family in mind for this, and it's a youngish couple with a child boy, so I kind of decorated the house according to their taste, and I feel like they would just like things really neat, really clean, not too cluttered or anything like that. So this is kind of what I've gone for in this house, and I'm actually quite impressed with the way that it did somewhat end up looking like the picture. I kind of had to guess the back of it, as there wasn't really a back of this, and I did slightly change the floor plan of this build as well, to suit the family. So it does look slightly different than the floor plan, hence why I'm not also attaching the floor plan, but I wanted to attach the interior just to kind of show how similar it is to the original designs, and I'm really happy with the way that this has turned out, both from the exterior and the interior of the house. This is extremely me. Love a good grey sofa. I love the way that the living spaces are really open, so it's kind of all in one kitchen, diner and living space. I feel like the family didn't really need anything more. I do a couple of really cool things actually in the kitchen that you'll see later on in the screenshots. So I want to kind of keep it a secret for now, but as soon as I did it, I was like, that is awesome. I love that. But yeah, so as you can see here, we've kind of already done the living room. We're onto the kitchen, and it is quite a small kitchen, but it does have quite a few work bench spaces, where your Sims can prep food, so there's ample space for that. I think there's 3 or 4 cooking spaces in that kitchen, so even though it is small, it does work quite well. So moving on to the bedrooms now. I was originally going to have the master bedroom at the front, but I just feel like it wouldn't have worked as well as it does here in the back, mainly because of door placement and window placement and so on. And I did really want to use that Peacemaker bed in this build, and because of the headboard being quite high, I couldn't really stick up against that window. So as I did just say, I have used custom content in this build. It is just Peacemaker custom content. I do kind of only tend to stick to his just because I like how Maxis Match it is. Plus he does have a lot of really good stuff, so if you guys did want to have a play around with it, it's all in one spot. It's on his Tumblr. I'll have to remember to link it down below when I actually upload this video, so if you did want to sort of replicate a similar build or this build, you can go ahead and download that. So at this point, I do actually end up putting the bookshelf over there in the living room, but I was kind of worried that it wouldn't playtest well. So I decided to turn the 3rd bedroom into a study. But I did go through this house and play tested it, and actually had a little bit of a play with the family as well. When I did some screenshots, which was a lot of fun. I've never really included families in screenshots before. I've just gone for house builds. And in this one, I did include the family in, just kind of doing general family activities. So I'm intrigued to see what you guys think about that. Should I carry on with that, or is it too distracting and you just kind of want to see the builds? Comment down below, because I am really, really interested. The overall colour scheme for this build was fairly white and grey. I do end up doing the boys' room quite bluey, but there is still a lot of grey in here. A lot of sort of like natural wood textures, just because I feel like it fitted this build quite well. I had a little bit of an issue there trying to decide on what wardrobe to use, because I feel like a lot of the chest of drawers are just way too wide, and they make the room look a little bit too cluttered. So I've gone for that skinny wardrobe over there. In terms of rugs, just adding some of them on. I was going to have the master bedroom in grey tones, but I decided to go for more of a creamy colour just to make it a little bit more warm, a little bit more homely. In terms of the office, I feel like this office is extremely similar to the mid-century modern build that I did. Like, I'm pretty sure I always use the same objects. It's a little bit smaller, but I'm sure that was also blue. I like blue. I feel like blue works quite well for the office. My own office is like dark blue and greys, so maybe that's why I make all my offices quite bluey, possibly. I did go a little bit crazy with the colours in the bathrooms, mainly because I pulled out that orange shower in the smaller bathroom and loved the way that looked. So I was like, right, we're going to have an orange bathroom, and then this one's quite like woody and brown, and it is a little bit more loft style. But it is, because of the amount of wood that we do use in this and stone, I feel like it also fits in the Scandinavian style as well. And I feel like my tile choice later on will kind of pull out that Scandinavian vibe a little bit more with some subway tiles. In terms of the flooring, I've gone for a simple white wood floor in this build. It's kind of what I've seen most of the time in most Scandinavian builds, especially modern Scandinavian and new Scandinavian. So I feel like that fitted in quite well. So here are the tiles that I was just talking about. So I've just gone for some brown subway tiles, and then some orange subway tiles in this bathroom. I didn't want to do full orange and full brown in the bathrooms because I felt like that would have just looked a little bit too cluttered. But I feel like doing 2 walls out of the 3 walls has worked quite well. We've gone for a simple grey in the living space with a feature wall in here. I wonder if this is where I do the little cool thing. Yeah, so I put up some of those hanging flowers on this little beam here, which I think looks so cool. I can't believe I've never done it before, and I absolutely adore the way that looks. I'm gonna have to start doing more builds now, and have a think of how I can fit it in my own house. Going a little bit crazy with the wallpaper there in the hallway, but I do love a good feature hallway, mainly because the space does normally look quite boring, because I did only add in a mirror and sort of like small chest of drawers where I imagine you chuck like your post and your keys and so on. So the fun wallpaper really kind of does make it a little bit more fun. In terms of the outside of this build, I do kind of go for this like light wood colour at first, light wood and light stone. However, I do then end up changing it because I kind of built this in 2 days and I liked the light of it the first day, and then the second day it just was not working for me at all. Actually, to be fair, I don't think it was working for me the first day. That's why I ended up playing around with so many different colours and it just didn't look quite right. And I feel like a lot of that was because of that building that you can see in the background, which I just built in my spare time. There isn't a video for it, but I feel like it didn't really match with that, and that was really annoying me. So I do then go in a bit and end up changing that around after, of course, putting in all the lights after I finished all of my build. As I mentioned in my last video, I find this is the easiest way to add lighting in, because you can kind of switch onto dark mode, figure out where you want the lighting and so on, and then also figure out what lighting you want to work with the furniture. And I did actually add curtains onto this build, which is a rarity on this channel. I feel like I never add curtains in. So I feel like, yeah, it's been like the last 2 builds I've actually bothered to put curtains in. I love those Peacemaker curtains. They're just so simple and they come in so many colour swatches. So they're literally so easy to just add in anywhere, and they come in all wall heights as well. If you remember my little rant from last time where I couldn't get curtains that matched the wall heights. So here we are, just changing the colour of the outside of the building. yeah, the light just really wasn't working for me. And I do actually go in and change the colour of the windows to black on the outside as well. They do stay white on the inside, which is something that I really like about these Peacemaker windows, and sometimes not like when I want black windows on the interior. But in this case, it worked well in my favour. In terms of the outside space, I add in a sort of like little pool, a decked pool. So initially I did want to have it on 2 separate decks. So you kind of have one deck and then you'd walk down to another deck where you'd have the pool. However, that didn't end up working for me at all. So I do end up putting it in one deck, which you'll see in a second here. After I've added in this little lattice piece with some greenery, which I do enjoy doing. And I have seen quite a lot of YouTubers do this, which is kind of where I got the idea from. I think James Turner from the Sim Supply kind of inspired me to do it first, and I feel like I've got to have it in all of my modern builds. Trying to work out this little pathway here. I've seen people do some really nice things with these stones. I am not one of those people that could do really nice things with these stones. I feel like mine just look really stupid, but I really did want to use them, so I feel like this way was probably the best out of all the options that I tried. I tried having like loads of them and it just didn't look right. But I feel like this one looks more or less okay. I did some landscaping there at the front, and then in a second here we do some more landscaping in the back after we sort of put the fence in, because I do like a good fenced off garden. In terms of outside activities, I've added a swing in, some plant pots. There's also a barbecue area and a table as well. And here's that deck that I was on about earlier. So you may have seen me try and quickly do it a different way, but I did cut a lot of that bit out because it was just painful of me trying to do it. And yeah, let's not put that idea in your head of 2 separate decks, because it would have been good if I actually managed to do it. However, I did not manage to do it at all. Adding some seating in by the pool here. Had a little bit of an issue trying to choose the right chairs, but I did initially pull out those Caribbean update ones, but then I feel like the more modern chairs suit this build a little bit better. I do then go in and add in some outside lighting to this as well. So I add those little string lights that I think came with Parenthood, but I could possibly be wrong. A little bench here at the front, as well as some outdoor lighting on the front. Those candles that I absolutely adore using. And then also some little floor lights where the path is, just to kind of light it up and guide you to the house. And we are almost done here, so we'll be moving on to the screenshots in just a second. But I hope you've enjoyed this build, because I've really enjoyed making it, and it's just completely in my element. I love the way it's turned out, and I'll probably actually use this house for my gameplay stuff as well. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and leave a comment below about what your favourite build style is. Until next time, bye.